Welcome to OSU Bites from the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences Extension at The Ohio State University. I'm Anna, and today I will be explaining soil testing for Ohio lawns, landscapes, fruit crops, and vegetable gardens. Most soils grow best with soil pH levels between 6.0 to 6.5. The pH levels tell how acidic the soil is. pH of 7 is considered a neutral soil, while pH levels above 7.0 are considered basic, and pH levels below 7.0 are acidic. Nitrogen levels are important for plant growth. Phosphorus is an important and healthy root growth and promotes blooming, and potassium is important with the encouragement of healthy cell walls and water regulation. When working with soil and plants, you should consider the industry-approved standard practices. The American National Standards Institute, ANSI, which is a private, non-profit organization that oversees and develops standards for the private sector in the U.S. Recommendations of ANSI standards specific to soil testing include: soil testing should be done prior to designing, plant selection, planting, and/or developing management plans for landscapes. All soils and/or foliar nutrient analysis should be used to determine the need, formulation, and rate of fertilizer. And when new plants are specified, they should be tolerant of the native soil pH. A soil test will determine the nutrient status of your soil and provide the necessary information to maintain optimal fertility. Test results and recommendations help protect our environment by discouraging the overpopulation of plant nutrients. Excess nutrients not used by plants may escape into groundwater, streams, and lakes, where they can contribute to environmental problems such as algae blooms. Soil testing should be performed every 2 to 3 years to maintain soil fertility. Soil can be sampled any time of the year if the soil is workable, but is recommended in fall for making lime applications to raise soil pH, and in spring for sulfur applications to lower soil pH. When collecting soil for soil testing, you can perform a soil test yourself by buying a soil test kit, but the kit will not have recommendations on fertilizers as soil analysis testing does. When collecting soil for soil sampling, take a bucket and round point or trowel. Dig 3 to 6 inches in depth where the roots are. Place and mix all soil subsamples in a clean bucket. Submitting a composite sample reduces the influence of soil fertility variations. 5 to 10 subsamples are sufficient for small areas, and 10 to 15 subsamples are recommended for larger areas, including lawn. Samples should be taken in a random zigzag pattern over the entire area, and all samples should be taken at the same depth and volume. Additional soil tests should be performed in areas that receive different soil fertility programs, soil color variation, and different plant species. Do not include the organic matter on the top of the soil because the organic matter can alter the soil test results. Prior to collecting the composite soil samples, contact the soil testing lab of your choice. The soil testing lab will provide a complete set of instructions. When preparing soil samples for submission to soil labs, it is important to follow the directions fully that the labs provide. Break up the clumps of soil and air dry the soil on parchment paper at room temperature. Mix soil and remove any roots or other materials from the soil sample. Remove 1 to 2 cups of soil from the composite sample and place into the sample bag associated with the soil testing kit provided by the soil lab of choice. There are various soil tests that are available per testing lab, including measuring levels of pH, phosphorus, nitrogen, and potassium. These are considered the 4 most important parameters that growers should be aware of to maintain healthy soil. Further content on this topic may be found on the link below, or by visiting Ohio State Ohio Line Soil Testing for Ohio Lawns, Landscapes, Fruit Crops, and Vegetable Gardens.